Hello everyone, this is Shadow Libra. Today we will be talking about one of FNAF's biggest mysteries since 2017. That is the Midnight Motorist minigame and what it could possibly be trying to tell us. But before we jump into this, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe with notifications on, join my Discord, follow my Instagram, and my Twitter. Now, let's dive into the video. Last August, FNAF had its 10-year anniversary, and for the anniversary, we got tons of special releases. One of these was a demo to one of the next FNAF games, 5 Laps at Freddy's, a Mario Kart-styled FNAF game where you get to choose a character, a go-kart, a map, and start racing. The full game is set to release sometime in 2025. However, what I think no one expected is the lore implications 5 Laps at Freddy's actually has. In the demo, there are 3 maps you can race on: Fazbear Hills, which is a location from FNAF World, the Sinkhole, which is the abandoned pizza sim location in Security Breach. Lastly, there is Midnight Motorist, which includes Juniors and the Mound. That alone makes me think the full release may give us an answer to Midnight Motorist. But also, look at this. Right now, there are 3 cars you can choose from 5 Laps. There's the Standard Cart, the Cup Cart, and Midnight Motor, a direct reference to Midnight Motorist. But also, on the back of it, there is a Spring Bonnie head. Purple car plus Spring Bonnie. That would imply, the theory, Will MM, which states that the yellow man in the Midnight Motorist minigame is William Afton, may be correct. If William is the yellow man, other things fall into place. For example, later that night. The phrase is used in Midnight Motorist's files, but it doesn't say what it is later the night of. However, Midnight Motorist is one of 3 Lorekeeper minigames in Pizza Sim. The others are Fruity Maze and Security Puppet. Security Puppet shows the night Charlie was murdered outside either of Freddy's or Fredbear's, and her soul went on to possess the puppet. We see in the Take Cake minigame, William drove to where he killed Charlie and drove off immediately after he killed her. We also see in both minigames it is raining in the middle of the night. The heavy rain, along with William driving off, I think is meant to tell us that Midnight Motorist takes place on the night Charlie was murdered. So, we got that cleared up. Now, when William drives home, he tries to enter Juniors, but is turned away. I'm just going to go with the basic interpretation and assume Juniors is a bar. Because if Juniors was something else, like, let's say, a Freddy's, I don't think Scott would have been this vague about it. Besides, William being an alcoholic this early in the timeline would not surprise me, since as of now, he's just a bitter and jealous man towards Henry, and he has no love for his own family. When William comes home, he is told to leave one of his kids alone tonight. The use of he to describe the kid to us tells us it is either Michael or Garrett, depending on who you think is sitting in this chair. Some people believe it's Michael because this character speaks in gray text and he's watching TV just like in Sister Location. However, the watching TV argument I always felt like was a bit of a stretch. Instead, I'm thinking this could be William's wife, just chilling out for the night. But that leaves the question of who the runaway is. Is it Michael or Garrett? Well, notice the footprints right by the kid's broken window. Did someone lure the kid? Actually, I don't think so. The footprints seem to just be staying in one spot. If we look at Spring Bonnie's feet, they have a similar shape to the footprints in Midnight Motorist, even matching that there are only 3 toes. So is it possible those footprints could belong to William, possibly wearing a Spring Bonnie costume? Obviously not a Springlock suit, but perhaps an empty costume instead. But why would William do that and stand outside his son's window? We see in Dittophobia, William is experimenting on kids, trapping them in a fake bedroom and forcing them to breathe in hallucinogenic gas. So perhaps this would be the start of William's experiments. We learn in the survival logbook that Garrett's favorite ride at Freddy's is the carousel, so clearly before the FNAF 4 minigames took place, at some point Garrett did enjoy going to Freddy's. So is it possible the place Garrett broke his window to run off to is a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? We see William get sick quickly of Garrett running off all the time, so how does he respond? He tries to scare his son. In Midnight Motorist, there is a mound that William knows about in the middle of the woods. However, it's not really explained. However, Pizzeria Simulator came out right after the release of The Twisted Ones. The Twisted Ones was about animatronics who would bury themselves underground during the day. Then at night, they would come out and kill people. These animatronics were controlled by William. So could that tell us about what this mound is supposed to be? The gap between these two releases was almost 6 months. If William is wearing an empty Spring Bonnie suit to scare Garrett, it may be his attempt to stop Garrett from running away to Freddy's all the time. One more thing that would connect Garrett to the runaway is how the Lore Keeper minigames work. You need to play these 3 minigames to unlock the graves of William Afton's victims. Security Puppet is about Charlie, while Fruity Maze is about Susie. While Garrett wasn't killed by William, the gas experiments are what caused Garrett's soul to break after he died. We see in both FNAF World and the movie that William had put Garrett back together and was able to influence him, just like how William influences the missing children's spirits. So a minigame about Garrett being grouped with the other missing children works pretty well. So for a recap, under this Midnight Motorist interpretation, here's what's going down. William had just murdered Charlie and drove off. He then tries to get drunk at the bar, but he's banned from juniors, so instead he tries to head home passing the mound, with his sewn together Spring Bonnie costume buried underneath. William tries to see if Garrett is still in his room to find out Garrett broke his window and ran off to Freddy's. William beats Garrett when he's back. This is how I personally interpret Midnight Motorist. Let me know what you all think in the comments below, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, everyone.